That's a proposal. Medina MP says that. Okay.
It's an NDC proposal. So
okay.
Bring it up
it's an MP's proposal.
NDC.
You consider this. Okay. So the NDC proposal, according to Alfred Thompson from the NDC MP for Medina, is that Muslims should have additional Muslim holidays. You know, we have Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha. And so after the main event, then you have the additional day, he says. What's the merit in that?
There are two large religious groups in this country, two dominant, the Christian and the Muslim. For me, equality is equity.
Equality
is equity.
Is equity.
So, how many religious holidays do we have for the Christians? Predominantly two. Christmas and Easter. How many days do we have?
Within those periods.
Within those periods to celebrate those holidays? 3, 4.
More than just a day.
More than just a day. Going back to my principle, equality is equity.
How is it more than just a day if Easter is on a weekday?
No, there's Good Friday. Is that right?
It's part of
Easter Monday.
It's part of it. It's part of
the
it.
package.
Yes.
And so they are proposing.
Friday you go to work.
Yes, it's part of it.
It's not a free day.
Please note everything.
I'm noting it.
Mr. Maliba, go ahead. Let them not distract you.
So you have more than 1 day extra for each of these holidays.
Really?
Yes.
Where's
Now,
extra?
yes. Now,
Christmas.
if you go to,
let me just get you the holidays.
if
Please
you
go ahead.
if you go to,
Boxing Day.
if you,
It's for Christians.
oh, you people,
Sorry.
I'm making one of my intelligence submissions here.
Please go ahead.
The first one was intelligent.
Please don't mind.
One of mine,
Yeah.
meaning that there are so many.
Holidays in Ghana. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
I said
Go ahead. Go
one
ahead.
of mine. There are so many. So this is one of them. One of the so many.
Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Now, for the Muslims, they also have two main religions which have been classified as holidays.
Two main days.
Holidays. Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. But you notice that for them, when they celebrate it, when the main day is made a holiday, the next day they go to work. Now, in their religion, and I'm told,
And the practice in the Middle
practice is that normally after the celebration, the next day they visit relations, families, and then to that kind of thing. That day is missing for them because they have to go back to work. For me, it's a laudable idea. My only fear is with the president, as usual, who will say that because it's not coming from the executive, he won't sign.
Oh, why did you bring the president
And that a similar bill will be sent. Having wasted the time of Parliament to pass through all this, then when it comes to his signature, because of his signature alone, he will say that he will sign. He and his MPP party will send a similar bill to Parliament. So I think that most parliamentarians would agree to this because they have Muslim communities in their constituencies and would normally want to ensure that they give them same holidays like Christians.
Makes a lot of sense. So I'm going through the public holidays so that we put all matters into consideration. Oliver Law said I should stop saying perspective. So I've removed perspective into consideration today. So we have the New Year's Day. And I know Muslims also have their calendar year, right? So ideally, if we have New Year's Day, then we should be having. Then when you go down, you have Good Friday. It's a holiday. Before you come to Easter Monday, Christians, they alone, they'll be enjoying.
From 7th, 8th, 9th.
And for Muslims, dear, Eid al-Fitr, 1 day. And then you come to Eid al-Adha, 1 day. So we have Sosu, Xavier Sosu, Member of Parliament for Medina, legal practitioner, proposing that additional day. Because if you go to Christmas Day too, they have Christmas Day. Then they will come and have Boxing Day. Makes sense, Mr. Alfred Thompson.
Oh, Ashkaman. Okay.
Especially with Baumia preaching the Muslim.
In the first instance, I don't want you to go into your mood of saying that I said it's an NDC thing, proposal.
No,
what I'm saying is that I wanted them to explain it. I wanted them to explain it because I didn't understand.
But you said
please don't disrupt his thoughts.
When I do the same thing, you people said I shouldn't do it.
No,
You see?
please don't do that.
Thank you. I wanted him to explain so that I appreciate it more because I needed to understand. I don't need to say it in so many ways. It's my choice.
No, please, just don't be.
So I have understood where Sosu and Amaleba. He says this is one of his brilliant thoughts. So the first one wasn't a brilliant thought, but the second one is.
How did you go to your school?
You meet my school. That is how.
Please don't.
My school that's how they taught me.
That means there are so many of them.
Don't worry.
This one of them.
Don't worry.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Conclude.
The first one is not.
Your English is warped.
So he's proposed it. I think it's a proposal. It's a proposal in the right direction. If it needs a further thought into it and discussion, I believe that we should do that and look at it very well because it makes sense that when you finish cutting, I know that when they finish cutting the meat and everything, the next day is when they share. And you have to go around to do that and thank people and everything for the prayers and everything. So if that is what is going to add on to it, it's not a bad idea. Personally, I am against so many holidays. I think we have so many holidays in our calendar, which is not good for us because we need more time to work and to transform this country
and pay more taxes
and pay enough to make sure that we see what is we are getting out of what we are paying as taxes. So at the end of it all, it comes back to the same thing. And Amaleba should note that it's not just the president signing, it's not just Nana Akufo-Addo signing. He is the president of the Republic of Ghana, and they need only his assent to it. If he hasn't ascended, he is the one we know.
The man
he is the one we are.
The man says
you can tell yourself that's what you should do.
What do you say to that?
Let's try and understand how some of. I'll only take the 26th of December. It's a custom which is linked to an older British tradition where the servants of the wealthy were allowed the next day to visit their families since they would have had to serve their masters on Christmas Day. And I reckon that if 26th December is based on this old tradition, and we're saying Muslims too would need time after the day of the celebration to visit, so be it. But let me tell you something. Even on holidays in this country, people go to work.
Yeah.
Go to the markets.
That's a choice. That's a choice.
Yes. Go to the markets.
That's a choice.
It is not a blanket holiday day when nobody goes to work, like Christmas Day. Even with
the health workers go to military,
even with the
journalists go to
even with the ill,
Eid al-Fitr.
people go to work.
Yeah.
Even they then some Muslims, some of them go.
Yeah, don't make it look as if it's blanket. But yes, equity helps. Equity helps. So it is something that we should consider and look at it. But I reiterate what Amaleba also said. You shouldn't get to the presidency. The president now tells us that it should have come from the executive.
That is what shows that he's the president.
Yes. You shouldn't.
That's what shows that he's the president.
And let me say, please, when the homosexual bill comes to you, president, don't come and tell us that. I'm saying it. Don't come and tell us that it should have come to the executive. So you won't sign.
Ekojan says the EC led by Madam Jean Mensah and Dr. Bosman Asare have always taken the conscience of Ghanaians for granted.
Are we still doing the EC?
People have the right to talk.
Message.
Yes.
No, I'm not saying they don't have the right.
Don Carlos says, Roland, the men in dark marks, brown khaki trousers and boots were seen plying the motorway some personnel of the Ghana Armed Forces last week. We are waiting for them at the polling centers come 2024. Don Carlos.
What's he talking about?
I think the personnel who went to Ayawaso West Wagon. That's what he's referring to.
Wedding brown.
You say?
Wedding brown.
Yeah.